a sinner, left my lover crying on the dance floor. I'm a sinner, I'm a sinner.
Welcome back to the demo for I Wani Hug That Gator. Let's try to huggy that gator. The computer lab is in the offshoot room of our library. As for the library itself, aside from the expected emphasis on anatomy drawing guides and the likes, it's pretty standard. Not to brag, but the school I was at for my freshman and junior year had a library with 2 floors. Probably should have read a thing or two with all those resources. I'm getting off topic. The computer lab is the focus. The calm tranquility of the library is overtaken by the organized sterility of the lab. 40 standardized sets of computers and monitors line the walls, forming a panopticon around the desk, reserved for the teachers in the middle. I remember them being organized differently in elementary school, but for a few years now, I've just been seeing this formation. Sounds to me like someone got caught one too many times working on more risque art pieces. The monitors are all turned on, but only one's logged in. Weird, there's nobody here. Damien and Ben said Liz would be here, though. Maybe she's in the bathroom? I'm not one to pry and snoop around, but I'm really pressed for time here. On screen, I see an open PDFs and documents. They look finance related and filled with abbreviations and jargon I don't understand. Maybe I can figure out how to create my own account? What the fuck are you? What are you doing? Ah! Haunted school! I didn't mean to scare you. Oh, thank Christ. It's just a dino girl with an extremely long neck and not a specter. No, really, what are you doing to the fiscal reports I was working on? I didn't do anything yet. I've been working on that all day. Why did you touch it? I didn't. I only minimized it, I swear. Right, I'm here for a reason. Are you Liz? The Bronchiosaurus furiously reopens all her windows for a while types out some information before acknowledging me again. Excuse me? Ben sent me. I wanted to submit something for the art contest going on, but I don't have my school login info yet. Ben told me you'd be able to help. Ben, huh? Well, Ben and Damien. She mumbles something beneath her breath and turns her head back to me. Yeah, I'm Liz. Whoa. Inko. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But yeah, I'm new here, so I need an account. Oh, well, that's no trouble at all. Liz sits down and cracks her knuckles as she starts typing away at the keyboard. All right, I'll see if I can get that done for you. Maybe I'll give her an accent. In a flurious display of spreadsheet software experience, Liz navigates and organizes several documents in seconds. I've always had a general idea that there were a lot of shortcuts and commands, but yeesh. Yeah, there's a lot of them. So, you're an artist too? Since you want to enter the contest so bad. Oh, yeah, I'm a photographer. Yeah? How are you liking it here so far? It's pretty good, although I feel bad about missing most of the first day. It's not your fault. Guess not. Although, truth be told, I see those paintings framed in the hall by the principal's office, and it does put a bit of rain on my parade. Oh, those, yeah, I get what you mean. I think it's like that by design, honestly. I do like how you can see her body kind of jittering about. Although, you know what would be kind of cool is to have it look like she's typing, but it looks like she's trying not to go to the bathroom. Like she looks like she's holding it. Like, see? She's got to go really bad. Something about breaking the students' egos. Then you end up wanting to improve like crazy so you can reach your goals. At least that's what happened to me. Your goals? Yeah, I'm planning on going to university and getting degrees in design and business. And that's just the start. Ambitious. Don't see how anyone can afford not to be. You? Yeah, no, it's true. That's why I do like fucking 5 different things. I'm going to be an influencer. I feel personally attacked. Fuck, I feel personally attacked. Except if I ever call myself an influencer, I want one of you to just take me out behind the barn and fucking shoot this unicorn. Just turn my ass into glue. I am a content creator. I just make fucking stupid videos and comics. Well, it's something. More than a lot of people here. What's that mean? Like half of the school may as well just be in daycare? Sorry if that sounds rude. Like they weren't taking advantage of the programs here? Yeah, some don't like... Yeah, some don't, like a friend of mine. You mean Damien? Yeah, I shouldn't have mentioned it. Oh, well, I hope he hasn't been causing you any trouble. He can be a bit silly Billy sometimes. Oh my god, I'm not the only one that uses silly Billy. Y'all been watching my streams. Trouble is a bit of an understatement. He's definitely the friendly type. He even partnered with me in gym and dragged me along to sit with him at lunch. Is that so? Yeah, he's really excited about it too. He's really welcoming me to his lunch friend group thing. Liz sighs. Not this again. What? I'm guessing he introduced you to Olivia as well. Well, we share the class, but I didn't get a proper introduction until lunch. Oh boy, I'm sorry about that, Inko. What? Is Damien messing with me? No. Damien is great. He's just maybe a little too eager. If he considers you a friend to him, he'll want you to be our friend too. Specifically, he'll want you to be Olivia's friend. What's wrong with that? Nothing at all. But you've seen Olivia. You can probably tell she's a bit unresponsive, doesn't really like to talk to anyone, not even Damien. We call them goths or emos. Have you seen her cutting herself? Because if she's not doing that, she's just a goth and she's fine. So you can definitely try, well, she might be a punk, who knows. So you can definitely try to be her friend, but just know that she'll most likely ignore you. God, it's just teenage me. You don't like Olivia? What? No, I do. She's fine, I guess. I sit with her during lunch after all. And I'm sure you'll get along with her just fine. And hey, I'd love to see Olivia make a friend. Just don't get too invested trying to get her to warm up to you. There's history to that warning. Why does she stick around? Why does she stick around then if she doesn't want to be friends? Oh, Damien didn't mention they live together. They're siblings? Not exactly. You'll have to ask him about it. Huh. Damien's also just incredibly patient and outgoing. I envy him. But yeah, he would like nothing more than everyone getting along like best buddies. Unless you're like Damien and you can be pleasant to a brick wall forever, your time is probably better spent elsewhere. So, how serious are you about your ambitions? Pretty serious, I think. Liz nods. Something to keep in mind then. It's a struggle, but like Damien says, we gotta keep trying, right? Liz gives me a half-hearted smile, but she still seems sad about something. Anyways, sorry about talking your ear off about private matters. You still want to get the submission turned in? She stops for a second on one tab to scan for something. And got it! She motions her head back to the room with the printer as it hums to life. I get up and get the paper. Both my username and password here are strings of numbers. I take a snapshot of the username and password so I won't have to remember it. Thanks. Anyways, you should hurry. Lunch is ending soon. Right, according to the time display on the monitor, I've only got 10 minutes left. I followed the instructions on the printout, finally getting to the student hub on the site. and thankfully the art contest is displayed prominently across it. Clicking through a couple of links, I finally find the submission instructions. It's simply a matter of putting my entry date details as the name of the file and dragging it into the school's shared drive. Plugging in my portable portfolio hard drive, I create a copy of my magnum opus. Then a quick rename, drag it here, and just in time. I take the extra minute to safely undock my hard drive and then log off the computer. Smart man. Looking back to Liz, she's completely wrapped up in her work. Don't think interrupting her is a good idea, especially after what she said about Olivia in her own time. I opt to simply leave her be, heading out of the room to the library for class. After all, it's time for the class I've been looking forward to the most. Photography! This day is certainly turning out better than yesterday. Hope I didn't just jinx myself. You fucking idiot. That made my little puppy snort on the bed. Give a comment for everybody comment and say hi, Kiwi. My nerves had been acting up when I first stepped back into class. Made even worse when I was hit with another flashbang. After my 20 other classmates had finished laughing, Mr. Latacan made a show of waving a freshly taken photo from a fancy fold-up camera from the 70s. Oh, I have one of those types of cameras. They're fucking amazing. Yeah, I actually might have stolen Trinity's collection. She doesn't know that I've taken it and put it in the garage. She won't find out. That girl doesn't notice anything unless she's using them. God, I hope she doesn't notice or I'm going to have ghosts in my room for like a week. Should ask the Eldritch Abomination for help hiding those. I dub this portrait Estudiantians and Bulls. I'm sorry for whatever language I just ruined. Fuck. I think it's Spanish. You'd think the person that's actually Spanish could fucking speak more than a few words at this point, but brain damage and all. After he had thumbtacked the shot on the corkboard filled with poor snapshots of everyone else, Mr. Latacan reassured me and sat me right next to Ben. He managed to sum up his syllabus in under a minute, instead of taking the majority of the time to go over our first lesson and assignments on exposure and lighting. With each new light fixture he brought out and explained, I felt my mind swirl faster with new possibilities of old shots. If only I had that then, or I could have used that there. Now that you've had a small taste of it, we'll start on your first photography assignment, proper lighting! I'm practically salivating at the thought. Mr. Latacan had this was just me in animation class the first time we started working. Mr. Latacan had just finished his first lesson where he handed out all sorts of equipment to look over. It's the first time I've handled some of these things, like the enormous box light that was still taking up the entirety of my desk. Remember, though, that these are just tools meant for enhancing the photo. You can highlight a turd all you want, it's still a turd. I don't know, people will pay stupid monies for things if you say it's art. The crude language guarantee a chortle from half the listening students. The teacher looks over at the clock and hums. Well, I see that we managed to finish this lecture a tad bit early. Why don't you all take these last 10 minutes to compare notes? Maybe even consider doing the assignment as a collab piece with a classmate? The room is quick to fill with the sound of chatter. I wonder if... I turn to Ben and see his eager grin. Do you want to do a joint piece, since you don't know any good spots in the school and all? I pull out the assignment sheet from beneath the lightweight light on my desk and give it a quick scan again. Present a set of photos demonstrating your understanding of proper lighting. You are allowed to borrow one lighting tool and must take the shot on school premises. And I swear I've handed out this assignment for years now. If one more student just takes a picture of the hallway outside of the classroom, I'm going to personally throw them over the railing. Oh, I was about to fucking make a joke about hallway lighting. God damn it, you can use window lighting. Could probably get a good shot of a classroom, like, as the sun is setting. Or, like, ooh, even, like, early morning light would be good. Be original, please. I've got the perfect place for it. If we work together, we can use 2 items. The offer is too tempting. Sure. I hold out my hand and Ben takes it and shakes it, sealing the pact. My face is feeling weird from all the smiling today. But in truth, I've been enjoying Mr. Latican's class so much that I couldn't stop. Why is it giving a close-up of him? It feels like I've the entire world. Feels like I've the What? Feels like I've the entire world. Maybe it should be I feel like I feel like I have the entire No. There's something wrong with that sentence. It feels like I have the entire world to gain from Mr. Latican's lesson. That might be proper. It just doesn't sit right. It feels like I've got the entire world to gain from Mr. Latican's lessons. And the entire world to explore, seeing as ever since the move, I hadn't had time to actually explore Volcaldra Bluffs. Again, this is a demo and, they're still working hard on it, so I'm not being mean when I point these things out. I'm trying to help. Ben's like, holy shit, he's been standing there for 5 minutes looking out into space. Sure, on occasions I go out on my own to parks and stuff, but who doesn't? Besides, I'd be a pretty lame photographer if I can go out and find stuff to photography. Fucking... Try that again? Besides, I'd be a pretty lame photographer if I didn't go out and find stuff to Why do I keep doing it? I should cut this part out, but I'm not. Find stuff to photograph. And you know what? I've been meaning to do a little looking around here. So to everyone else, this assignment makes them have to explore the school, but I get to. Pretty sweet deal if I say so myself. The hall outside the classroom is only one major photo op. Between that and the murals outside, I'm certain to find something cool. No, the murals won't work on their own. Holy shit, dude! Since it was my first thought to use them, that means it's likely someone else's first thought. I need to think outside the box. Think of some way to use the school's architecture to my advantage in the way that... Go! My thoughts are disrupted by the worried-looking Ben. Maybe you should see a doctor, man. Hand injuries is no laughing matter. He has just been standing there for 5 minutes. I'm fine. What were you saying? I was asking how you were doing, with the school and the classes and all. Oh, right. Doing good? Really good, actually. I'm in a class that I'm 100% enjoying and starting to make some genuine friendships. Compared to the disaster of yesterday, today has been astoundingly positive. That's good to hear. Yeah, I've even got some friends now. Great. Oh, and what about your art submission? Was Liz able to help? There's something nibbling at the corner of my thoughts at the mention of the long-necked girl. Yeah, she gave me a login stuff and everything. Uploading the submission was a piece of cake after all. Awesome, though that does make you competition now. Both Liz and I have pieces in the running too. Oh no. She told me she had submitted something, yeah. I'm a bit concerned since I didn't have as much time at all to... She told me she had submitted something, yeah, but I'm a bit concerned since I didn't have as much time at all to prepare anything, but hey, everyone's got a chance, you never know. Yeah, she was pretty cool about it too. That whole friend group is pretty welcoming. I think I'm pretty lucky. One of them's gonna fuck us over. Lucky? Ben seems perplexed at my statement. You said something at lunch when Olivia vanished? I'm noticing for a silent paraplegic, she sure has a lot of people upset. You got some hidden drama with her too? No, not really. Wait, who? Latican calls out to us, striding over to inspect. I take it you gentlemen are conversing about your assignment together? Of course, Mr. Latican. We were just discussing where'd we take our picture, right, Ben? You fucking better. Well, that's good then. Good thing you guys weren't talking about something off topic like gossip. That would be a pretty embarrassing use of your time right off the bat, I think. Especially considering you're currently the subject of a fairly humorous gossip, aren't you, Mr. Nito? I'm awash in a wave of shame from his words. I look at Ben and I can see that he feels it as well. If the air around someone needs clearing, clear it yourself. Latican has a point. Maybe once a friendship is established, I can learn more about her. He was listening. All right, off you go now, and remember to get your assignments done by the end of the week. The room empties out slowly, most of my peers still chatting and discussing their plans for the assignment. Before I continue talking with Ben about our project, the Stuco president, is already packed up and exiting the room. Guess we'll talk later then. Packing up my own notebooks, I wave goodbye to my new favorite teacher and head off to my next class. Walking into history class for the first time, and it's about what I expected it to look like. Pictures of historical figures, small relics from various regions, and cartography of the Earth during its stages of continental drift. Though I notice that there's a distinct lack of teacher in the room. Must be finishing up their lunch, I assume. Well, better get a good seat now before they're all taken. Eeny, meeny, miny. This one. I settle myself into my chosen desk and pull out my history book and notebook along with a pencil. As the classroom fills more and more students, it becomes a blur of vibrant scales. A few minutes pass and I'm still wondering where the teacher is. The suddenness of the door slamming open stops any and all noise. It's quite enough to hear a pin drop. The figure walks into the room and... Oh, sweet heaven, no. He stands there and stares down at everyone menacingly. No, I don't want to have to yell. He's the history teacher too? Oh, Jesus, Suka just walked in. Thank you for walking me to my class, Sully. Of course, Miss Procklicking. Procklicking? Oh, thank Raptor Jesus, he isn't our teacher. The raptor woman adjusts her glasses so she scans the room before looking down at the paperwork in her hands. Prockling. It's Prockling, okay. Looks like we'll have some late arrivals, but let's get down to business. I know that I introduced myself yesterday, but any of those who weren't here... Her momentary glance at me makes me believe Sully told her about my absence. My name is Miss Prockling, and this is history class. Oh, is her and Sully together? In this course, we'll be learning about history of our primeval ancestors and their advancements through history. You can say that it'll be like going back in time. Doesn't that sound exciting? Despite her admittedly forced enthusiasm, everyone in class responds in uninterested murmuring. Not sure why though, this all sounds exciting. She walks over to her desk, places down her pile of folders before flipping open her own special version of the history book. With a click of a button, she also turns the projector on to reveal a prepared slideshow for today's lecture. To learn about the extensive history of Syrians and their culture is something I've yearned for. If you can turn your books to page 36, we'll begin with the first chapter detailing the earliest interaction between Syrians and hominoids. Oh, that sounds interesting. This is going to be terrible, isn't it? I think I jinxed myself. Miss Pockling's history class is the polar opposite of Ladicasker's photograph class. While her introduction to the class engaged me at first, things have slowed down to an unbearable slow crawl. My eyes scan over the introductory text of the first chapter. Despite the tension between the two groups, human settlers to the New World would continue to make overtures of trade to the native Velociraptor tribes. Pretty sure I've read this line 3 times now. I tear my eyes away from the page in hopes of blinking and the boredom away. I look up to see the teacher staring down at various papers on her desk with laser focus. I must have stared too long, though, because I end up locked in a staring contest with Miss Prockling. She raises an eyebrow at me. Okay, then write down notes of the pages 3 through 7 about the discovery of the New World. Without even fully comprehending the words before me, I'm copying the page down to the letter in my notebook. Absent-mindedly, I begin to recall everything that's happened so far with my new classmates. Ben carries himself with a lot of refinement and is easily my first pick as a photography partner. But that Mia girl, she doesn't seem to want to make friends. Of course, I could have figured that out from the cold look she gave me yesterday, not to mention the rude hand gesture. Damien's very friendly, even if he can be a bit too enthusiastic sometimes. And though my encounter with Liz was brief, I can tell she's dependable. My progress in making friends has been pretty good, all things considered. But then there's Olivia. So far, she's still an enigma, and coupled with the apparent history she has with the others, it makes me all the more curious about her. Liz said it would be a bad idea to get too invested, but in the end, it's effectively gossip and hearsay. This has come as something of a shock to me, but... And what do we have here, Miss Halford? The sudden voice of Miss Prockling snaps me out of my thoughts. I lean my head to see the teacher looking down at... Wait a minute, Olivia's here too? As luck would have it, I share not one, but 2 classes with Olivia. I must have been so jaded from trying to read this textbook that I didn't even notice the girl in the wheelchair. She sits in the front row, diagonally in front of me. And I don't think she noticed this strange twist of fate herself. Only the 2nd day of school and already doodling in class again? She proceeds to pick up the piece of paper from Olivia's desk. Looks like she's been drawing on it, though I can't tell what they are from where I'm sitting. Listen, Olivia, I know history isn't the most exciting subject to learn, but could you at least pretend that you're taking notes? The only response I hear from Olivia is a heavy sigh before leaning her head back down. While the teacher returns to skulking around the room, Olivia hunches over a notebook. Although I don't think those are notes she's taking. Nah, no one would do something like that with a totalitarian teacher patrolling the room. Yes, she would. It's an attempt to get all of us to focus, but... I'm fighting a losing battle to keep my eyelids from shutting. My jaws clenched tight to suppress the loud yawn building inside. Even as Miss Prockling skulks right past me. Just before my drowsiness can overtake me, though, I notice a minute movement in the corner of my eye. One of my classmates glances up at the teacher, whose eyes are roving over the opposite side of the room, and down to scribbling something down. The paper is then folded into a neat little note. I watch as the next person carefully folds the sheet and also scribbles on it before folding it and passing it along again. Curiosity thoroughly piqued, I await anxiously in my seat for the paper to get to me. It's a dangerous game, passing the note along so Procklock doesn't see it. If I'm participating, does that make me a slacker? The student to my side makes his move to toss the note over. But Prockling starts turning around right then. He flinches and drops the hot potato on my desk in a flash. I nearly slam my own paper over the page to cover it from sight. Miss Prockling continues to lecture about how the raptors and humans eventually started to get along because they traded narcotic leaves or something like that. And as you can see on the board here... Now! I lift my paper. Luckily, there's plenty of space left. As for what everyone else has drawn, a not-so-solid attempt at a race car. Rough sketch of some eyes. A bunch of doodles. Name in various stylized fonts that I could only describe as graffiti. And, of course, it's not high school if someone hasn't drawn a penis. Oh, that was going to be what we did. Miss Prockling with a stink lines coming off of her. Yeesh, better not get caught with this. That being said, I'm drawing a blank. What should I draw? I don't exactly doodle every day. Drawing stuff for others is a nice gesture. Maybe I can try to break the ice a bit? Oh, you idiot. Although I don't really know anything about her. Hey, can't hurt to try, yeah? I can think of a few things to sketch out here. Let's see. Oh my god, you're just gonna let me draw a dick, aren't you? What did you guys think I was drawing? No. Clear. Wish I had a tablet for this. The fact you can actually do this is cool. I'm gonna draw the most weavy shit I can. You wanted me to draw the fucking gator. I know what you wanted me to draw, game. Probably doesn't matter what I draw, but this is fun. This looks terrible. I don't know what I drew. Fucking take it. And done. I didn't have a lot of room to really work with, but as I admire my work, I find that I have a long way to go. It feels like I'm being mogged by the other doodles. Alright, Olivia's sure to like this. Miss Prockling is still turned around. You know, I know what I want to draw. It'll be simple, but I think it'll work. It's a drum. You know, like their logo, only shitty. I wish I had a tablet. Alright, Olivia's sure to like this. Miss Prockling is still turned around. Alright. If I slip the paper over to Olivia's shoulder, I won't have to get up and risk getting caught. And there we go! It's a bit tricky, and I hesitate, but the paper meets its destination. She doesn't even look back, just takes the paper eagerly. It's completely different from how she was acting earlier. Her tail is even swaying from side to side. Oh, is that wagging? Huh. Alright, now she's gonna see my sketch and possibly think I'm cool. Or not. She's not turning around. Well, it's not much, so I could also just... I'll be taking that. Miss Prockling snatches the paper from Olivia's claws as she holds her hands out. She takes a glance at the paper, and a small crack of a smile appears on her face before going back to a stoic visage. So, is this how you view me, Miss Halford? Prockling holds the paper up for all to see. Everyone in the class does their best to avoid her persecuting gaze. I know that most of you were a part of this as well. Look, I'm not asking for much. Please do your assignment when you're done in class. It's the least you can do. We were just passing a note one at a time. She wasn't even paying attention. Yeah, how come all of us are in trouble? I noticed Prockling look down at Olivia for a moment before letting out a sigh of defeat. Look, since it's only the second day, I'll let this one slide, but I'm warning you now that I won't be so lenient the next time it happens. Otherwise, you'll end up like the last student who decided to disrupt during class. What happened to him? Get the detention slip or something? I ate him. Miss Prockling pulls the window blinds and pushes the window screen open. She then takes out a walkie-talkie. Sully, yep, another hippie, seat H4. Good, that is his wife. I am calling it right now. Good job, soldier. Now, if we can, let's continue. We're on the second floor. I sink back into my seat and continue writing, mainly out of unadulterated fear of experiencing the same wrath from the teacher. Man, now I feel guilty for Olivia. I was the one to pass with a note after all. Maybe I shouldn't have tried? Well, I can always apologize after class. Miss Prockling places the note and continues with her lecture for another half an hour. With 10 minutes of class left, I see Prockling look at the clock above the door. I then notice Olivia grabbing her attention, and as if she knew what she was already going to say to her, the teacher nods her head. Olivia grabs her backpack and shoves all of her things in it. In silence, she wheels herself to the door, opens it, and rolls on out. The teacher must have noticed me watching her leave. Accommodations. Well, there goes my chance of saying sorry to her. Feeling defeated, I decide to focus on writing my notes for the rest of the time left. Although I do wonder. She must have noticed my doodle. Did she ignore it then? Class comes and goes, and I head home to the metro. On the metro. Another day, another $1. Though this time I pass on the mini breakfast burritos. So this is the next day, so we'll leave that for the next episode. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Bit of a shorter episode, but I think we're doing pretty good. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this little demo series. And I'll see you guys next time. If there's a visual novel you guys want to see me play, let me know. It does not have to be an adult game. I do like Tell Me games and others. Okay, guys. See you next time. Bye.